What's happening, fam? L.A.R. movement still moving. Book is entitled Lessons from a Non-Custodial Father at Amazon, Kindle, and Create Space. Link will be in the description box below as usual. This video is entitled Why You Shouldn't String Someone Along. I was just do too, but whatever. Here's the thing. People get a kick out of thinking that they have options. And they are confident that, somebody's always going to want them and be on the back burner and pine over them. And the thing about that is a reason why you shouldn't string people along, because the same person that seriously loves you is not going to take you seriously if you keep stringing them along. For some of us who've been around the block enough to know, you might say you're interested in a person and you might treat them in such a way, and they're busy playing games. And they're like, oh, well, since this person already committed and said they got a thing for me, I got one on the team. So since they going to be there, I'm not ready to commit to them, but I'm glad that I have an admirer. So they'll be there to boost my ego and boost my confidence, and maybe I can run back to them when I'm running low. What's going to wind up happening is, they're going to get over you, because you can't put somebody on the sidelines forever, right? You don't get to control when they get up and leave. And what some people do, and you learn when you're younger, is when those people get up and leave, they go find somebody else. Normally, that person, oh, but I really do. Where you going? I really love you. I was just playing. Come on back. They try to woo them to get them back in the mix. And if they can get them back in the mix, they put them right back on the sidelines. And see, that right there, that's when they write you off. Because normally they put themselves out for you. You played that for some odd reason. They moved on. Then you all of a sudden acting like you like them and love them so much. Now you willing to get with them. But then when you got them, you put them back on the sidelines, and they're like, you know what, this is a game for you, but I'm not a game. I'm not to be toyed with, right? So now they move on for real. Now it's like, okay. And then, people have these issues because they don't want to see you with somebody else. So that ain't their problem though. Like, if you don't want to see somebody that you strung along with somebody else, that's not their problem. That's your problem, right? So the other thing about why you shouldn't string somebody along is, usually what goes around comes around. They might not string you along, but basically you're going to come across somebody who's playing that game better than you, and you're going to eventually be the fool. Because everybody has somebody that catches their eye or tugs at their heart, and they just can't shut it off. Eventually that happens. So now, it was cool when you was doing it, but now all of a sudden what goes around comes around, and now you don't like it. So when you out here stringing people along, eventually somebody's going to have you going in circles. And if you could dish it, you could take it. The other thing is, it's just kind of like the friend zone thing. Like, you can friend zone a person who will accept that you friend zone them and friend zone you back, and then now you're like, how am I gonna get out? You can't get out. Like, you can't get out of the zone that you put yourself in. That's the thing. Like, when you stringing people along, like, oh, you be the friend, I could pull you out of this friend zone when I feel like it, haha, I really like you. We just friends. Like, chill out, chill out, chill out. Because I've said this before. Sometimes when you string a person along, especially like that in that friend zone, the worst thing that could probably happen to you is that friend sees how you act with people because they're in the friend zone and they can watch you. And then they're like, you don't, nah, I'm not even, I don't want no parts of that. No parts of this shit you want. You become a friend, but then you become a friend from afar. You feel me? Like, we good, we good. When people start asking, well, why you never tried to holler at them? It's like, I know them. They ain't really, they're not all that they cracked up to be on the outside. From the outside, it looks great, but on the inside, not so much. Because, you strung them along so much, they see the inner you, and it's not attractive. I would say, another reason why you shouldn't string somebody along is, it's difficult to find somebody who really cares about you. And usually the people that you string along are the people who actually care about you. And those people are not as easily replaced as you think. And that's a problem. Like, now it's like, oh, wait. Because I've seen this happen too many times where you might say somebody is more exciting, somebody's more attractive, somebody has more money, somebody or somebody's on a level that you think is the level that you want to be on, right? So that's what you gravitate to. Here's the problem. That person don't care about you. That person ain't really down for you like that. You chasing superficiality, and the person that you is stringing along was actually your substance. And sometimes people miss their blessing because they chasing, bullshit. Now, speaking of that also, sometimes people are arrogant enough, and I'm glad that they're arrogant enough because this has happened to people before, that you string people along because you don't feel like they're on your level, but you think they're cool. And then what happens is you need to be careful about who you look down on because you might be looking up to them. And you strung them along because you was looking down at them. And then some time passed, and now life has forced you to look up at them. And, all of a sudden, now you're like, well, you've always been great, and I always really liked you. No. You didn't like them when you looked down at them. You like them now that you're looking up at them. So they see that game because you strung them along. They got to see that you said, you wasn't good enough for me, and now all of a sudden, you're just perfect for me. And they're like, I'm the same person, but you thought I wasn't on your level. Now I'm above your level. Now all of a sudden we on the same level. I'm not buying it. You know what I'm saying? So you got to be careful of stringing people along, because, and even with that, that goes also with the looks. You might feel like you too fine for somebody, and depends on your age. You might be fine at your age. Be wary of that. Like, some young people, I remember when I was younger, there were girls that was fine in grade school who fell off by high school. There were girls who became fine in high school that fell off in college, by college time. You had girls in college that were fine that fell off after college when they was adults. And they had girls who were in their early 20s and they just started getting fine. And they fell off by their 30s. And then you had the women who, you know, they got fined. It's like, oh, shit. But see, those are the people you strung along. Because sometimes the people are late bloomers, and other times people are just haven't refined themselves. They might have been fine, but they were just unrefined. You know, they might have been good people, but they were just unrefined, and you strung them along because you felt like somebody else was better. What the hell is that? I don't know. I don't know. But you felt like they were unrefined, and that is. And you felt they were unrefined. So when they refine themselves, now they're like, nah, no, and it's not anything. It's not like they start feeling themselves and they're like, you know, now you're beneath me. It's more so like, I haven't changed as a person. I just became more refined, and now you know, look at me now. It's like, look at me now, and you've been stringing me along this whole time. Because what people don't want to say is, you're gonna hit your peak at some point, and people peak at different times, and you would rather be a late bloomer than an early bust. You get what I'm saying? So when you stringing people along, when you got out the gates all early, you gonna regret how you treated that late bloomer. So, you know, just a few things, man. Now I can get out of here. We out.